The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Upgrade your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. For the young phenom known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA when we all PSR Pub Sports Radio bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quick to trip. But we say we be pubbing. Better with the bag and you love it. We want it top 10, we above it. Leche.
Alrighty, Jesus, only solo. Nice to see everyone. Say hey. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Thanks everyone for tuning in here. Bright, well, not that early here on a Thursday afternoon. Jimmy is away at a wedding in Ottawa. So shout out to my guy Jimmy the Bag. I will be hosting the show the next 2 days here. Another apology here for the late start here. Obviously, we missed game one, Twins Marlins here, 4-0 Marlins. But I hope you guys got that cash. A rare occurrence when we miss a game here on betting with the bag, betting with Bouquet. So apologies there. I had to do another show, producing another show, unfortunately, and my bathroom flooded this morning. On top of all the bad things that happened this morning, so that was an interesting morning for your boy. But it's nice to see everyone in the chat early. I'll tell you guys this now. Tomorrow, Friday, July 4th, we will be starting at our old time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. For everyone, let that be known now. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Need to start early to talk about Nationals Red Sox tomorrow. We'll go back to that throwback time everyone clamors for. So hope you guys are awake and ready to go. Then we'll cap the whole card as we usually do on July 4th. So let's rock and roll. Be myself again, by the way, for those who did not catch that as well. So nice to see you guys. We have a loaded show. Good baseball card. WNBA with Billy Brisbane. I did want to pay tribute to Liverpool striker Diogo Jota that died this morning in a car crash. Very sad shit that happened over in Spain this morning. 3 kids, was married less than a week ago. So shout out to his family. I had a solemn cry by myself listening to his song that is played or sung throughout Anfield frequently. So shout out to him and shout out to all of his family and everything, because it's a tough time when you lose someone that young, man. So especially 3 kids, a father, a husband, the whole thing. So shout out to him. We're going to get after this baseball card, and it's going to be a fun day of baseball, but not talk about him. Just sad shit going on, very much. I saw someone today say that it was very much like the Blue Jackets guy whose name escapes me right now because I'm thinking of all these things and can't think of his name, but the guy from the Blue Jackets last year that died. So Johnny Hockey, good draft. There we go. Finally, fuck. But let's get after it, ladies and gents. It's going to be a fun baseball card, and I've got not one, but 2 special guests joining me here today. So I cannot wait. I've find out what these gentlemen are on here. I've broken down the card a little bit, and these guys are going to help me break it down for the rest of the show. So let's bring on the co-host, I guess, of Walk Off Wagers, 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings Eastern time, every Sunday with Line Time Sports. It's our guy Spoons Bets joining the program. Spoons, my man, nice to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited for the 4th. It's my son's birthday. We're gonna go out with some fireworks. It's gonna be a nice weekend on deck. It's a really nice card today. I texted you last night about one of my favorite plays. Text a few people actually. I hope a couple got on it.
Oh, well, I'm excited to chat about that play here soon. Shout out to you. Shout out to Wrigley. By the way, Spoons, here's your fun fact of the day. There's never been a player with the name Wrigley to hit a home run in Wrigley Field. So just saying, you've got a shot. You've got a shot there. So shout out to you, Spoons. Nice to see you. Happy early birthday to your son. Well, what if he's the next Madison Bumgarner and we go back to the dark ages and let pitchers hit? Who knows?
Oh, I hope so much. Can we please let NL pitchers hit?
You're telling me
all these Paul Skeens wins, that guy's knocking in 2 RBIs a game.
No. He actually probably could. He was a good hitter at Air Force, apparently. Shout out to Paul Skeens. Let's bring on our other special guest here. Glad that he's back rocking with on screen. He joined us on last Sunday. Bit of a hell of a job. Wants to come back for more, and I'm glad to have him. It's the one, the only TJ joining the party here, joining us. TJ, my man, how are you?
Good morning, guys, or afternoon, I guess. We're good, man. We got I did a little play in this Minnesota-Miami game. I have the over, so Yuri Perez looking lights out right now. I'm going to need Miami to probably get 7 to get that. But happy to be back, man. It's always fun capping the card on screen, makes you better. The chat, I'm sure, is going to throw some fire. It's good to see everyone in there, and I'm ready to roll.
Yes, it's going to be a fun day. It's nice to have you back on screen. I appreciate you joining us here. TJ, nice to see people in the chat. Justin, Steve G, Big Daddy Boone, Redbeard, Truth Teller, AM, Old E, all the whole bit. AM, I will not acknowledge the grinder allegations. My profile's still up. Sorry, AM. It's still up there. You'll have to deal with it. Irish King, sports scientist Jacob. Who knows, Spoons? Who knows what AM is talking about? But it's nice to see him in the chat. Irish King, all you guys, Jake Burns, let's get after it here and let's roll into our first game here. Let's talk Houston, Colorado. Brandon Walter versus Kyle Freeland, a fan favorite, or I guess the Jimmy the Bag favorite. Shout out to old Jimmy, enjoying the weather in Ottawa right now. At a wedding this weekend, so shout out to him. But we've got Brandon Walter, former Boston Red Sox, versus Kyle Freeland here, who, if you guys watch this program, you will know has been pitching better. I don't want to say good, but better than he was after that speech that he made in front of the team, or it wasn't in front of the team, it was in front of the media saying to stick with him. He was almost in tears doing it. We kind of figure that he can't not show up for the team after that kind of speech. Now, his last start, 4 innings, 6 earned runs, ugly against Milwaukee, 6 innings, 3 earned runs against the Giants. Before that, at Miami, 6 in the third, 4 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, and 6 innings, 3 runs against the the New York Mets at home. That was 3 of the 4 on the road there, so maybe a little coincidence, or we'll see. But home road splits for Kyle Freeland. Or, I would rather use batter versus pitcher, because home road splits with the Rockies pitcher is obviously a little absurd here. Righty-lefty switch. Righties are hitting 340 against Kyle Freeland this year. Now, lefties are only hitting a dull 282 against him this year, which is still very high. So Kyle Freeland, like I said, his numbers aren't great, but has pitched well over the last like a month or so, excluding that last start. Now, let's go to the market here. As you guys know, that's where I like to do my bread and butter. 66% of the bets are on the Astros, 52% of the money on Colorado here. A little bit interesting note there. 62% of the bets on the under, 73% of the money on the under here. Spoons, we'll start with you. Houston, Colorado. It should be a very interesting game. And real quick, actually, you have Ballpark Pal up, Spoons, I'm sure, so you can give us the rundown from Ballpark Pal. But take it away. Interesting game here. I have no lean so far. Want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'll just start with Ballpark Pal. They have it modeled at plus 32% home runs, plus 14% doubles and triples, and plus 29% runs overall. This is nothing out of the ordinary for a park like Coors. It has the #1 run value in baseball, and the way that Ballpark models their parks, that is a huge factor in it. So you always see the #1 park at the top and the 30th park towards the bottom. It's going to be really nice. 0 chance of precipitation, temperatures in the high 80s, low 90s there. So this is one of those days I really do feel like Colorado will play very offensively. I think that really favors Brandon Walter, a guy that pitched in the PCL. This is a AAA league that's filled with parks at high elevation. And while none of them are quite as bad as Coors, it does give him a little bit of experience in that kind of spot. You touched on Kyle Freeland's splits. This is a big thing for me here. Freeland is a guy that excels at getting lefties out and struggles a little bit more with righties. And what you're going to see from this Houston lineup today, in my projected lineup, is 9 righties versus Freeland. That does give him the ability to sort of get in a rhythm, but I really think this is a Houston spot. I don't know if I want to actually move on it. I haven't put my money on it. I looked at the first 5 laying a full run, and I didn't know if I could really do that, but I have a lot of faith in Brandon Walter here. I think the Astros are going to win this game. In baseball, you always have the edge at home. Freeland's so used to pitching in this park. He's done it for years. He's put up the best numbers anybody has ever put up in Coors a few years back. So while he's removed from that, he still knows how to pitch here. So he may have the actual edge there. So there's just too much that doesn't really correlate for me to lay the bet. But that first 5 -1 was the only way I could even think about getting to the ticket window.
Interesting. TJ, what'd you have on this game?
Yeah, I really trust Walter here. I like what he's doing so far. Obviously, not a big sample size, but 29 innings I think is enough to go off of. 3.34 ERA, 104 WHIP, and that's backed up by his metrics. 3.34 ERA, a nice low sub-3 SIERA, which I look at a lot, which basically brings your strikeouts and walks into play. He's striking out almost 25% of batters, walking 1.6, which is elite control. A lot of ground balls, very low fly ball rate, and I think that's going to work out well here against a Rockies team that just is not. They're just not hitting, and that's not a surprise all season long. But they're 30th weighted runs created plus last 14 days, 23rd against lefties, but on the season 30th, at home 30th. They're just anemic on offense, and even getting 3 or 4 runs in Colorado is equivalent to 1 and 2 somewhere else. I like, Walter, what he's done, what he did against the Cubs at home was excellent. 1 run over 6 innings. The Angels did get to him, but Minnesota, Cleveland, Tampa Bay held them all in check pretty well. So I'm looking at first 5, and I'm looking at full game too. The only bet I moved on here was first 5 -0.5, because I do believe that the Astros are going to be able to get 3 to 4 off Freeland. Speech or no speech, the numbers are the numbers, and he's gettable, man. He's got a WOBA of 380 versus righties, a 4.14 xFIP, and a 1.7 WHIP. So these guys are going to have runners on base. All it takes is one big swing of the bat there, and you can currently get that at -123, -0.5. So I know money's coming in on Colorado a little bit. I've done well at going against market moves lately, and I'm going to be there here. So that's an official play.
All right. And you said Houston first 5 -0.5, -123, correct?
Yep.
All right. Beautiful. Kongs, you're not late. Right on time. That was our first official action here. And I can see why you guys are doing first 5. I mean, full game, I'd probably lean Rockies. I like what AM's saying in the chat. Getaway day. Astros play the Dodgers tomorrow or next series, whenever it is. I haven't looked at the schedule. And, it's kind of a short line. But then I also agree with our guy, Stephen Harrison. He also said they come alive this day on getaway days. But I think it's a short line because Brandon Walter's on the bump here. And the pitching disparity, you could say the Rockies have the starting pitching advantage today. I guess you could make that case.
On that note, Jose, I do want to touch on something. Kyle Freeland's coming back from a back injury, a sore lower back, and he's clearly not right. That first start was on the road, not in Colorado. Coming back, he gave up 11 base runners and 6 earned. His hard to hit rate percentage was almost at 50%, and he just wasn't striking guys out. He did not look comfortable on the bump. That was part of the reason why I was going to try to isolate it to that first 5, and I just forgot to mention it.
That's a good note there. Good note there. So Rockies bettors out there, AM, TC, and moving on them. Shout out to you guys. Good luck. And I wish you guys all the success in the world, except for the first 5.
Rockies are now 2-23 against left-handed pitching. So good luck. You can donate your money to me if you want to give it away.
3-23 incoming apparently today. So let's see. I hope you guys. I hope you guys all cash it because it's all possible. It is all possible here. So good luck. Let's keep rolling here and let's move on. By the way, Spoon, double check your mic settings for me and make sure you're on your actual mic here. StreamYard's being a little funny today with the mics and such. I can't switch mine for whatever reason, so just let me know. Detroit Tigers, Washington Nationals here. The Tigers who have fucking 6 guys starting the all-star team. Javi Baez, Gleyber Torres, Tariq School's probably going to start it. Fucking, they got everyone in there. Shout out to the Tigers and their impressive day. Dietrich Ennis versus my guy Jake Irvin, who I have a love-hate relationship with Jake Irvin, I will admit. He is not good at times. And I like to put myself out there for our guy, Jake Irvin, and he likes to just falter at all all turns, and it's frustrating here. There'll be moments of brilliance. Like he goes 5 1/3, 2 earned runs against the Dodgers 2 starts ago. We're all slapping him on the ass, telling him how great he is. And then he comes back in his next start against the Angels, 4 1/3, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, 3 home runs. And just listen to these home run numbers over the last few starts. 3 home runs at the Angels, 2 home runs at the Dodgers, a home run allowed at home against the Rockies, 2 home runs allowed at the Mets, only 1 at home against the Cubs, which is kind of good. But, like, goddamn, it's been home run-a-palooza for our guy Jake Irvin here. And, again, I love Jake Irvin, but he can screw you at many turns, and he's difficult to predict. And I think I personally need the market to help me predict his starts. Home road splits for Jake Irvin, a 3.59 at home compared to a 5.79 on the road. So maybe you're feeling good about those numbers here and want to back him. His June ERA, a 7.01. You know, those last few starts did not help his cause there, but I mean, goddamn, it is, again, kind of difficult to back Jake Irvin at times. Dietrich Ennis on the other side. This is his second start for the Tigers here. His first one, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks against the Athletics. And I'm starting to notice these young pitchers, they'll come in, they'll pitch well that first time, Chase Burns. And then the second time, when there's a little bit more film, a little more, understanding, those major league cameras are looking at you, they start to figure something out here. So watch out for Dietrich Ennis today. And I kind of thought this line was a little short when I first looked at it. Maybe it's because I think of negatively or positively. I don't know which way I think every day about Jake Irvin, but 77% of the bets, 85% of the money on the Detroit Tigers here. And I'm going to refresh my page just so we can get all these up-to-date lines here. Penny opened this line at minus 159. Where we used to play poker, minus 155. Now it's minus 134, minus 138. I think you guys all know where I'm going with this. I love my guy Jake Irvin, and today is the day I'm going to back him yet again. So, and by the way, don't think I haven't noticed, that's 2 reverse line movement spots this week that we've had, and both have lost. Rockies earlier like 2 days ago, I think. And then yesterday, another one in who the fuck was it? It was the late game. Oh, no, it was I don't even remember now, but there's 2. And it's a little frustrating because you guys know that's my favorite angle to bet because I feel like you cash every time, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to be on the Washington Nationals here, full game. TJ, tell me why I am so right, or tell me why I am donating my cash today, TJ. Take it away.
Initially, it looks like you're donating cash, but I'll tell you what, this market's telling you everything you want to know. Why is Detroit so cheap? And when I have to ask myself that, I did it on Seattle the other day when everyone was on Seattle with Hancock, and it's like, why is he so cheap? And I just put my money on the other side, and it paid off. I think there is some explanation
a strategy
here.
You've been doing all year this year. I agree with you wholeheartedly there.
Yeah. I do see why, people might want to be betting, or why this line is moving to Washington a little bit if you look ahead. So Detroit goes to Cleveland for a, divisional series. Washington goes to Boston, whatever. It's just 2 trash teams, right? Sorry, I had to take a stab there. But no, you look at the bullpen situation after yesterday's doubleheader, and both bullpens are in a bit of trouble. Washington's didn't throw quite as many pitches. I mean, they put Rutledge out there to dry, so he won't go. But everyone else could be available. Whereas if you look at Detroit, Vest didn't throw. Sorry, I'm just getting to it right now. But Holton had 28, Chase Lee 22, Herder 53, and while some of those Conley, however you say his name, 18. Yes, they're going to go again, but you want to set up your pin for the next series in a divisional series. So look for Hanafi to go, Hernandez, just some of their arms that aren't as quality coming in late. And then you got Inns on the mound who, I don't think you can expect him to go more than 5, but they're going to want him to. In an offensive day, I don't know what ballpark has to say, but the weather's I'm an hour and a half from the stadium. The weather's nice here. I kind of want to be on Washington. I'm not there yet, but I could change my mind by game time. I want to see the Detroit lineup. Who's out? Someone's going to be out.
Okay. I like what you're saying there, TJ. You're saying all good things. Spoons, my man, what do you think?
I'll just start with the ballpark, pal. It's modeled at plus 8% home runs today and plus 11% runs overall. It's going to be pretty nice weather here, as TJ alluded to. Temperatures in the high 80s for the entire game. Wind blowing towards the right field foul pole is the most recent wind update I have here. I spent some time on this game last night and was asking myself, should I bet the Tigers now or should I bet them in the morning? And I made the wrong decision. I bet the Tigers last night. I got a bad line of -1 at -130, but I don't hate it. I'm not going to buy out of it. I see the market on the other side, but I think it's because people don't trust ends, and that's not something I agree with. This is a left-handed pitcher that's going to be facing a very dominant left-handed lineup. This team all season has struggled at home. They're 30th in weighted runs created plus and OPS over the last 30 days, 29th actually. This is a Washington lineup that if they get the right-hander on the mound, I think they can go for 10. But versus left-handed pitching, it's just hard for left-handers to get around on the same side. And I think N sets up for a really good spot here. You mentioned that you don't know how these young pitchers kind of handle their second start. And I agree with that statement, except that Enns is a young pitcher. He was drafted by the Yankees in 2012. This is a guy that's had a couple stints in the majors back then, journeyman around the minor leagues. And he went over to Korea, pitched really well, earned himself a contract back here, dominated the AAA level. I think this is a spot where he's set up to pitch well again. I don't think the lights are too bright in a Washington Nationals spot. Talking about bats out of the lineup, Kerry Carpenter, my favorite bat in this lineup generally versus right-handed pitching is on the IL. That's a big thing. It's not going to be in the lineup, but I don't see any reason the Tigers still can't win this game. TJ mentioned the bullpen. A lot of arms went yesterday, but if we go back the day before and the day before that, nobody's gone. Will Vest hasn't gone in 3 days. I almost think they put him out there regardless, just to make sure his arm is in a good spot heading into that next series. You don't want to give these guys too many days rest. I think this Detroit bullpen is in a good spot to handle this game, to be honest. I know Conley had a bad game last night, so I expect him to get the night off. Holton threw almost 30 pitches, so he gets the night off. But I do agree that Hanafi will be available, Carlos Hernandez, and I do think Will Vest will be there. This is a spot where I expect the Tigers to win. The -1 may come in for my push, but I like the Tigers a lot. I just don't think the Nationals can hit left-handed pitching, and this is a spot where a guy that's 34 years old trying to earn a contract in the major leagues is going to have his best stuff. So I'm on the Tigers -1.
I'm on the
I'm interested.
Nationals. Let's say I'm the Nationals full game money line, so that means I'm fucked because Spoons beats me every time I bet these against him. But go ahead there, TJ.
I think this is a spot where Jimmy would be on the first 3 under.
You think so? I think so as well.
Yeah, the market's telling us that Irvin pitches okay. I think Spoons makes some good points about the Detroit starter, Washington bats. He's just got to get through Abrams and Woods. They don't do as well against lefties. So I think a first 3 under here. I mean, I think you can get a 3 at -130-ish or a 2.5 at +105. I haven't bet those. I'm not going to jump on now, but for those of you that have,
I'm gonna pop right back.
Well, I just texted our boy Jimmy, and I just told him Tigers Nationals, a first 3 under you'd be on.
Yeah.
I will laugh and see what he responds to me here soon. Let's keep it rolling here. I'll get Spoon's action on that -1 here in a second, but let's go to Yankees, Blue Jays here. TJ, is there a worse feeling in the world than having your bet go down fucking 1 billion runs immediately, then have them climb back, give you hope, shine a light in your heart, and then stomp it right back out? what assholes this Yankees team
No,
is. I had faith. Unbelievable.
and it's a team you hate. You've been chalking trash on them all year. So that makes your hatred even grow deeper. And I love it.
Oh, TJ, you said it perfectly there. I was fucking furious. I was like, why did I when they went down 8-0, TJ, I was like, why did I let this stupid team sucker me in? They suck. I've been saying it all year. And then they come back, TJ. I'm like, oh, my market overlords, the market. I just have to put my hands in them. And then they fuck me again right at the end. Devin Williams can't throw a goddamn strike, which
terrible.
Oh, it was very frustrating to watch here, to say the least here. Now, the one bright side about that loss is now the Yankees and Blue Jays are tied atop of the division, which is hilarious. If you would have told me that to begin the season, I would have been shocked, to say the least here. We've got Clark Schmidt versus Chris Bassett on the bump here today. Two pitchers I generally like, and I need Troy Torrance, I guess, to find this out. But whenever there's an exact same money line on the next day after a game, every time I look at it, it feels like the other team that lost yesterday won, because it's one of those like, oh, we just got this line yesterday and the team won. Let's bet it again. Now, again, that's me talking just anecdotal experiences. It's not actually fact-based with numbers behind it. But we're at the same line yet again here with Clark Schmidt, Chris Bassett. I'm very fascinated to see what's going to happen in this game. Let's go to the market and start there here. We have, as I scroll around and find it here, 57% of the bets are on the Yankees, 77% of the money on the Toronto Blue Jays, 52% of the bets on the over, 60% of the money on the under in this game. Now, like I said earlier, Clark Schmidt is a pitcher that Jimmy liked him first and is slowly gotten me on his train. It's hard to get me to like any Yankees pitcher, but he's pitched very solid. His last start was the worst of his last four. 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed against the Athletics, and then 3 consecutive shutout performances, 7 shut, no hit against the Orioles, 7 2/3 shut against the Angels, 6 inning shut against the Royals. Now, none of those offenses are very good, but you still have to tip your hat to the guy and him pitching well. Home road splits for Clark Schmidt here. We have 276 at home, 371 on the road. So still pretty good. While on the other side, let's talk about our guy, Chris Bassett here. I'm very interested to see how he's done here how he's going to do here, because he went 2 innings, 9 runs against the Boston Red Sox last. 8 of them earned. Don't worry, guys. Not 9 earned, only 8. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts that day, and only 1 home run allowed on that day to make his pummeling even worse. 8 hits. I mean, good Lord. Was pitched pretty well. We all kind of know what Chris Bassett is at this point. And let me tell you guys now, he's fisting against the Yankees earlier this season. He went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs on 2 home runs allowed at the Yankees there. Schmidt, by the way, let me go back and find his. I think he's faced the Guardians this year once, or the Guardians. I don't know why I'm thinking Guardians today. He's faced Toronto once this year on the 27th of January, February, March, April. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 6 Ks, 4 walks that day. TJ, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this was a bet so I know we do everything one unit on the show, and I know some people bet that way. I don't. I go 1% of my bankroll, 1.5%, and 2%. Those are my 3 bet sizes. And I saw this sitting at 122 at about 1 o'clock. Yankees, and I hit it minus 122. We've seen a little bit more movement since then. So I'm on the Yankees here. And
TJ, tell me I'm not going to be on the Yankees again, TJ. Tell me I'm not going to do it again.
I think you have to be personally. This is kind of like the Detroit game 1 yesterday that I said is a must bet. There's a few reasons. We can start with the bullpen. Yes, Devin Williams is terrible. Well, good. He won't go today. He threw 25 yesterday. Weaver, Hamilton, Hill, all available. Leiter available. Toronto's in some trouble. Jeff Hoffman closed the game. He should be available, but he has pitched 3 of 4. Yimi Garcia threw 34 off the IL. He won't be available. Yariel Rodriguez has gone back-to-back in 3 of 4. He won't be available. Little, 30 pitches yesterday, 3 of 4. He won't be available. So some of Toronto's better arms in the back end won't be available today. You look at Schmidt's pitch mix. He throws a cutter over 40% of the time. Blue Jays are bottom 5 against the cutter, both in the last 30 and on the season. The Blue Jay bats you worry about are hitting from the right side. Clark Schmidt's got a 0.87 whip and 222 WOBA against righties. I've been backing Clark Schmidt all year, to be honest. I don't see any reason to come off him here. And I think the Yankee bats, unless they sit somebody, important, are lined up for a good game. They hit the sinker really well. They're number 2 on the season, 7 last 30. They hit the cutter really well. So that covers over 60% of Bassett's pitches. They got a decent history off him. He's doing all right versus righties. What lefties are getting to him more. But and I know he's coming off of his worst start of the season, which is a spot a lot of people want to run back and say, well, it's the veteran pitcher off a bad start. I get that. But going back even 4 or 5 starts, his whip is rising. The walks are there every start, at least 2 walks, up to 4. So there's a lot to be concerned for me. I think Yankees are I get the price. I don't want to say it's too cheap, but I would take him even if you can get a 130. I would still take it.
All right, Spoons, hammer this home. What side are you on?
So I didn't get a chance to talk to TJ about this game beforehand, but it feels like he's just reading off my notes. There's nobody available in this Toronto Blue Jays pen that they trust. He stopped at the biggest 3 arms, but Braden Fisher has gone 2 of 3. Chad Green has gone 2 of 3. So you're going to ask one of those guys to come in and pitch for a 3rd consecutive day today. The Blue Jays, the roof will be open here today. I see somebody in the chat asking about wind receptiveness in this park. It's ranked 29th on Ballpark Pal for wind receptiveness. That's a lot to do with the actual roof that's over this park most of the time. It's still probably in the middle of the pack if you just factor in the games without the roof. So I don't think the wind blowing in is a huge thing in this park. Ballpark Pal actually has this modeled at plus 5% home runs and plus 3% runs today. So it's not going to be a huge factor in my opinion. I'm on the Yankees minus 124 money line. I like this play a lot. Clark Schmidt, I think really matches up well against this lineup. He struggles a little more with lefties than he does righties. In fact, on the season, he's only giving up 0.22 weighted on base to righties, a 0.87 whip. Those are very impressive numbers. And I asked myself, how many righties is he going to see today? Probably 6 or 7. The only left-handed bats the Jays have available right now are Barger, Nathan Lucas, and Will Wagner. And that doesn't leave me very scared. I think these Yankees bats can definitely get to Chris Bassett here. This is a guy that is coming off just a tumultuous start, and I don't think this is a good spot for him to bounce back. I think the Yankees don't want to get swept here. This is an AL East opponent. It's an important game to them. Their bullpen sets up a lot better. I could keep going, but everything that TJ said is just straight out of the notes that I have for this game. I feel like we're on the same page, and I feel really good about that. TJ's really sharp, so happy to be on the Yankees here today. I know a lot of people are just going to be sitting there like, I can't bet the Yankees after the way they've been playing right now. And that's that's just what I want to fade. Those kind of sentiments, it's baseball. It's 162 games. Everything evens out over the season. There's no such thing as hot streaks and cold streaks. It's just a range of variance. And I think the Yankees avoid the sweep today. Get the money line.
All right. Well, I'm on with you guys. Minus 128. Like I said, I don't know what it is about these lines that are the exact same from the day before, but if the one side loses that you're on, or the other side you think lost, just bet the other side again, and you're gonna win apparently, because I think we get a Yankees win today. So I agree. Bullpen, I think that bullpen spot is spot on. If Chris Bassett doesn't go at least 6 innings today, at least, then I think the Toronto Blue Jays are pretty fucked. So agreed there. And of course, like you said, Spoon, AL East, now they're tied. I mean, the Yankees have to come out. If he gets hit up,
they have to leave him in the game too, because they can't take the chance of making this bullpen take too many innings. Yeah. So if you see Bassett give up a 3-spot in the first inning. He's going to sit out there and sit in his misery until he's completely gassed.
He is going to eat that shit today. So I can't wait to watch this game. You don't hear me say that about often about Yankees games. So it's going to be fun.
Hey, Jose, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
No, do your thing, TJ. Do your thing. Let's roll on to Milwaukee Brewers, New York Mets. The only fucking bet I won yesterday. By the way, I went 1-4 yesterday. Fucking just a disgusting day. It was very frustrating. It was on point. At one point, I was like, "Oh, the Red Sox are up 3-0. The Mets are up. The Angels are up 2-0." I'm like, "Oh my god, we're feeling great." And then it was just like that. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But let's roll on. Let's beat today because today is what matters here. And we got Brewers Mets yet again here. Quintana, David Peterson here. By the way, I knew you were out there smiling somewhere, Spoons, when Mizorowski was getting touched up. You were like, "Yes, finally." So I was glad to see that for your sake here. Quintana versus Peterson is an interesting matchup here. Not the sexiest matchup in the world, but the market. Let's talk about this one here because we have about a 50-50 ticket split. 51% of the bets are on the Mets. 81% of the money is on the Milwaukee Brewers here, though. So that is a fascinating dichotomy there. And this line has really not moved much at all. Penny opened this up at -150, not -148. Where we play poker at is -150 opener up to -152. So it's it's a little weird that you got all that money on the Brewers. There's not any movement in their direction. 49% of the money on them, or 49% of the bets on them. So I'd probably lean Mets here again, but I don't want to bet a -150 Mets squad here. I respect David Peterson, but I'm not running to the window to back Peterson here. Over the last month, the Milwaukee Brewers are also the best against lefties, 137 weighted runs created plus. So I will stay off. I lean Mets, but the Brewers' proficiency against lefties will keep me off. And by the way, the Mets against lefties, as Quintana is a lefty, is dead last. 61 weighted runs created plus over this month span. So yes, I understand. You look at the numbers, you think Brewers, but if there's 81% of the money and 49% of the bets on the Brewers, and the line really has not moved much, it is a little worrisome to say the least here. So I lean Mets in the face of all those numbers, unfortunately. Spoons, what do you have to say about this one?
I haven't gone to the ticket window with this yet, but with this matchup of lefties, the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers here right now, I have a strong lean to the Brewers. I didn't think that was anything the public or the market would necessarily agree with last night. I'll just touch on this game. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at +7% home runs and -10% runs overall. It just means it's a relatively warm, nice day in city. This is a park that's always going to be in the bottom. It's ranked 29th in run value. There is a small chance for precipitation during this game. It ranges from 15 to 25%. This game's going to go at 7 tonight. The temperatures will be in the mid 80s for most of the game. The reason I had the strong lean to the Milwaukee Brewers here is mostly because of these bats. You look at the Brewers versus left-handed pitching over the last 30 days, last 14 days, they're top 3 in baseball in every single statistical stat category. I think this is a spot where they can really get to David Peterson. Peterson's a guy that's dominant at getting lefties out, but righties he struggles with. And there's going to be some really good righty bats in this Milwaukee lineup. They've shown the ability to hit left-handed pitching, as those numbers show you. And on the opposite side, we have a Mets team that's just not hitting lefties. They're dead last in statistical categories across the board in the last 30 days and 14 days versus lefties. If we want to look, the last time they got more than 3 runs off a lefty, it was Carson Palmquist and Coors, and he got 4. So I don't trust their ability to get to Quintana today. Quintana's a seasoned major league pitcher. This guy knows how to get outs. He's in it for the long haul. This is a guy that eats innings, and I think he really matches up well against this Mets lineup. Like I said, I haven't gotten to the ticket window yet, but I do have a really strong lean to this Milwaukee Brewers team. One thing that sort of keeps me off is Quintana pitched for the New York Mets last year, so he worked with the New York Mets pitching staff, and they know all of his strengths and all of his weaknesses. And a team that's hitting dead last versus lefties in all those categories, but has this many good bats, you expect them to turn it around at some point. And I think with the help of the pitching coach and the hitting coach working together, they might be able to isolate some certain pitches from Quintana that they're really just going to sit on and wait for. And I have some respect for the Mets bats and their ability to do that. So ultimately, I do not think I will move on this game, but I think Quintana can shove here, and I think the Brewers can get to Peterson.
It's going to be a fascinating game to watch here, TJ. Can you make any sense of it?
This is another one that screams, why are the Brewers so cheap? Like, it makes no sense. Everything Spooner says I agree with. On paper, the Brewers win this game. I was actually shocked. I'm a model guy. Model probably about half. I use that for about half my influence, and then I, look at all the games myself and dive deep. But I was shocked today that my model spit out 4.3 to 4.1 for the Mets, which equates to about a 52% win percentage and a fair line of minus 108. So value would still be on Milwaukee, but I couldn't believe the model spit out the Mets. And, I really just think it's leaning on, we expect David Peterson to shove somehow, some way. He's looked bad his last 3 starts, but they've all been on the road, and he's been lights out at home. 9 innings against Washington, no runs, 1 run against Colorado, and 2 against the Dodgers, pitching into the 8th. Those are impressive starts. The Brewers don't hit the sinker, so kind of what I warned Jimmy about yesterday. A lot of people were back in Arizona. I said they don't hit the sinker, guys, and Roop went out and pitched to Jim. That could be something to look at, and it's something about Peterson at home. I want to bet Milwaukee. It's an easy click, plus money, good baseball team. Obviously, the better over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the Mets. And Quintana's been great, but I'm going to pass on this. I'm not going to lay that vig on the Mets. If I gun to the head had to pick a team, I'd pick the Mets in this one. But
I'm right there with you.
It goes against all the data, so I don't know what to do. I can't.
So TJ, when your model spits out like 108 Mets and you're seeing a minus 155, that gives you the opposite of me. It seems like it makes you want to bet the Brewers, obviously at plus 130. And for me, it makes me really be like, why the fuck are the Mets minus 155 today?
Yeah. And I think Jimmy would say the same thing. I think Jimmy would be like, this is a Mets spot. It has to be. The market's saying it is. But
it's just so weird. Yeah. I mean, like, I just read it. The best team against lefties against the worst team against lefties this month.
Right. So why is Milwaukee not at least a pick? It's so fishy.
And I'll say this, maybe not as popular because, or maybe it wouldn't be as popular with Jimmy, but this is another first 3 under I would be interested to see if he moved on here. I don't know if the numbers against lefties would scare him off, but yeah, it's very interesting. Troy Torrance says market history says road team wins. I think I will add the Mets, but I will add them as a parlay piece to go with something else so I don't have to fucking destroy myself with a -1 and a minus 155 money line or whatever it may be. So I'll keep the Mets an interesting spot here. A lot of people liking the under. Sports scientist Jacob liking the under. By the way, hand up, I'm a prick, and I forgot to mention this earlier. Shout out to Justin McKelvey. Stacks plays of the day 1 and 2 we talked about. Number 1, Christian Walker over 1.5 bases. I thought he was playing for Arizona in my head still. Justin, I'm not going to lie to you. Houston Astro, Christian Walker, so over 1.5 bases. And number 2, Spencer Torkelson over 1.5 bases, plus 114. So shout out to you, my guy, Justin. Apologies for not reading it.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
So shout out to you,
Stacks,
Justin.
man. Stacks is always in here every day on the weekend shows too, man. What a guy. Just quick, Joe Yurkovich, public thinks the Mets are great and the Brewers are so-so. I don't think that's true, especially of recent. And you look at the money on this, The sharps are on Milwaukee. 50% of bets, 82% of cash on Milwaukee. Line not moving. I'll just leave it there. I got to pass.
That's scary. It's a scary game. I can't wait to watch this game. I need to do a better job about writing down these notes and remembering them for later because I have a shit memory. And then for tomorrow, so I can remind myself, oh, look at the score. This is what happened in that game and all this bullshit. So I need to do a better job about that. But I'm excited to watch.
Your daddy
this
says
game.
you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I'm supposed to do better notes. Old Jimmy the Bag. Shout out to him. I need to add a notes section in my spreadsheet on my record spreadsheet so I can write my notes down in there. Is really what I need to do. I suck at spreadsheets. TJ, I'm sure you fucking live on spreadsheets and Microsoft Office and all that bullshit. I just pay one of my friends $5 and he loves making spreadsheets. I'm like, hey, can you do this on my spreadsheet?
Hey.
So I have a spreadsheet guy as well now. So shout out to him.
That's a smart thing to do. I don't make the spreadsheets that I look at either.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So shout out to all you Microsoft Office wizards out there. I respect all of you spreadsheet makers. Troy Torrance, he has fucking like all the shortcuts memorized. He's got the SQL shit. So shout out to you, Troy Torrance, as well. Let's roll on to Angels Braves here, and shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. And it's XL. God damn it, I couldn't think of fucking XL that whole time. Thank you, Ron. Shout out to Ron again. Spreadsheet play of the day is in this game. Angels plus 122. So shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. Ron Crawford. I can't wait for Troy Torrance to open up his Excel spreadsheet betting classes. Here's how you make your Excel spreadsheet for your gambling and all this stuff. Sports Sciences Jacob is your first client right there, Troy. I can't wait. Let's talk about this game because I was on the Angels last night. It sucked. TJ, go ahead. I heard you say you want to say something there?
I just have one last note about this Mets being better.
Please.
They're 4-14 last 18 games. That's not a team playing good baseball, guys. Milwaukee's 11-5, I believe. So,
God damn, that's I cannot believe that line. It's a shocking line. I'm gonna be on the Mets in some form or fashion. I just need to find this other leg here of this parlay here. Angels Braves though. Ron on the Angels. I was on the Angels last night. Kikuchi takes a 2-0 lead. I'm feeling great about myself, and then up comes Matt Olson, grand slam, game over essentially. But now we've got Bryce Elder versus Jose Soriano. And I'll say this. I think Weinstein has said this as well. The Braves are going to be a fade in this second half. Their pitching is falling off. Spencer Swellenbach fractures his elbow, and I thought he was on pace to being a top 5 pitcher in the NL. And it's great. Ron, I still have your spreadsheets. Don't you worry about that, Ron. I still have it. I just don't know what I'm looking at half the time, Ron. But I have it. I have it. Soriano, a good pitcher that I like as well. Elder is fine. He's just kind of like a poo-poo platter pitcher. Honestly, he gets the job done, but nothing that's exciting me too much here. I want to quickly give the market here, and I just looked up, and I have 3% battery life, so I will pass it over to you, TJ, and you and Spoon can break this down. But we've got 54% of the bets and 77% of the money on the Atlanta Braves here. And unfortunately for people that might be thinking about wanting to bet the Braves, it does not seem like this line has moved much. Actually, I lie because where we used to play poker opened this up at minus 150, but Penny opened this up at minus 137 Braves and is now up to minus 150 Braves. Wow, that's rare when the opposite happens there. It's typically BOL that starts at super low and then goes up and all that good stuff. So that's interesting here. I have no bet in this game so far. TJ, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game here.
Yeah, another sharp book I kind of like to follow is Heritage Baseball. You get really good, nice low vig, and they're right in line with Penny. They opened it at 135. It's now 148. Everyone I've talked to and seen in chats and shows is on the Angels. I support that. I haven't gotten to the window yet because who are these people betting Atlanta and why? You look at the numbers for Soriano: 2.78 road ERA, Elder 6.61 at home. Soriano's ERA is supported right. It's almost exactly on his xERA. Kind of same with Elder, and Soriano does walk a lot. That's concerning. Neither guy strikes out a ton of batters. Soriano gets a ton of ground balls. Both pitchers get a ton of ground balls. I kind of like the first 5 under here, which is contrarian a little bit because it seems like the public's on the over, the sharps are on the over, but this thing's going from 9 to 9.5 back to 9, which makes me even more in favor of an under. So I'm gonna shop around right now. I want to listen to what Spoon has to say, and then I might move on this first 5 under.
Spoon, what do you think?
This is another line I moved on last night, and it's the the Los Angeles Angels. I moved on them at plus 120. You can obviously get a better line now, so the market doesn't love my bet here, but my X's and O's, everything lines up for me. I'm not too worried about the market in this exact situation. I want to start with Jose Soriano and his last start. He gave up 8 earned run, 9 hits, and 2 walks to the Washington Nationals. This is a team that is built full of left-handed hitters. They're just really strong from that side of the plate. And if you scroll down at some of his other past starts, they look really good until you get to the Boston team that also started 7 left-handed batters versus Jose Soriano. And those 2 games, if you take them out of this his season, he's probably on pace to have a Cy Young level kind of season. And most people would never connect that with Jose Soriano. This is a guy I really like his ability. I hear you mention the walks, but he's a ground ball guy. So when he walks a guy, half the time it's intentional because he doesn't want to give him something to hit. Because when ground balls guys give up a hit and it's hit well, it generally doesn't stay on the ground. It goes pretty far. So he knows better than that. He'll pitch around him and get the next guy out. And I think he'll have the ability to do that here with the Braves. This is a team that has one lefty that I'm worried about. His name is Matt Olson. After that, Jerickson Profar can switch hit. He hits better from the right-hand side. Drake Baldwin, he's a catcher. It's not a bat I'm very concerned at all. Ozzy Albies, also a switch hitter, also hits better from the right-hand side. And just Michael Harris. I don't even know that the switch hitters will hit from the left-hand side today. They might, but we'll see. Jose Soriano's whip versus lefties is sitting at a 1.6, and his xFIP is sitting at 3.99. Both of those numbers dropped drastically. He has a 2.9 xFIP versus righties, and I just think it matches up well versus this Braves lineup here today. On the other side, we have Bryce Elder. This is a guy that's really going through it of recent. You look at his last 3 starts, he's given up like 24 runs. I think I have a note right here. He's given up 25 hits, 8 walks, and 19 runs in his last 3 starts, and that's only 10 2/3 innings. This Angels lineup, I've said it on screen probably a dozen times now. I want to draw a line in the sand of when the managerial shift changed, and that's the team that I think they are now. If we look at these bats in the last 14 days versus right-handed pitching, they're second in baseball among all metrics. The bats in general, top 5. I think this is just a spot where they can get to Elder. Elder's clearly not right now, and I don't see any reason I want to get in front of this Angels lineup. And Jose Soriano is a guy that I just value more than most people. That's fine. There's a lot of pitchers like that we don't necessarily agree on, and it's just the way I view baseball versus other people view baseball. But as long as I don't have a couple big lefties in the lineup to worry about, I think Soriano is going to be just fine. The plus 120, I'm fine with it. I know that you can get a better price now. I'd recommend you grab it, but it's a spot in front of the market I'm very confident in.
Spoon's going up against the market here. Very interesting. I'm going to stay off this game. So officially, Spoons, you're on Angels money line plus 1. What did you number did you get there?
120.
All right, Angels money line plus 120. And what was your Tigers -1? I forgot to get that juice from you.
-130. I have it all tweeted out on X if you want to see it.
Oh, beautiful. And I'll go there. I will go there
right now and
do that.
Yeah, I'm going to officially be on the first 5 under 5, -110. And I'm probably going to be on the full. I'm probably going to double up here. I'm waiting in case a 9.5 pops up. But I think the books are opening their arms to over money, especially looking at these pitchers last start. It's an easy game to go bet the over on, and I think we see like a 4-2 game. So definitely first 5 under official, and if it gets to 9.5, I'll take full game under.
I'm going to join you on the full game under here, TJ. Our guy Ricky Levine saying the unders are 11-0-1 when Atlanta is favored, and they won by more than 5 runs in the previous game. It goes into under by an average of 6 runs a game here. So
Hey,
shout out
Jose,
to
real
you,
quick.
Ricky.
I want to give a shout out to Gorky. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but he was talking about tennis plays this morning. Guy named Pedro Martinez was playing tennis. You could get him at even money when he told me about it. I ended up tailing Gorky on a tennis play because I didn't want to put my money on that early Miami game and just wanted to stay disciplined with my baseball capping. And that came through, got some nice half unit stacked in my bankroll from Gorky. Just want to say thanks, Gorky.
Shout out to our guy Gorky making those tennis plays.
Pedro Martinez.
By the way, that's a great name. It's a great name. By the way, I don't know why I read a 9.5 on screen. I have 9s across the board. Was this 9.5 for you at one point, TJ, or was I just dumb this morning?
Yeah, I got bet up right away, but everyone's dropped it back to 9. So,
yeah.
And when that happens, it's kind of like, okay, everybody's initial look was the over. That's what everyone was betting before limits, and the books are like, cool, we'll take more over money. We'll drop it, make it better for you.
Well, I am on the under 9 minus 105 now in this game, full game under. Shout out to you, TJ, and shout out to our guy Ricky Levine as well here. Let's move on here. Let's roll on to our next game here. I think it was like 9 games. Well, technically 10, 9-game slate for us here in baseball. So not too much. Nice little bits we can handle here. Cleveland Guardians versus the Chicago Cubs. I wrote down Luis Ortiz to pitch in this game. I'm told he's not pitching. What happened?
Gambling. He's been watching Pub Sports, man.
Yeah, like the assholes in our chats and some alias apparently, and not telling us. The son of a bitch. Luis Ortiz, done for life probably in baseball, making it even worse that he's a pitcher. Imagine being on the games that he bets where he's like, fuck it, I'm just fastballs down the dick. Oh, my God, what an asshole this guy is. So no Luis Ortiz for us here. Who did you guys have as the prime or the expected guy now? Either one of you.
It's a left-hander on the mound for Cleveland. I'm just going to double check before I say the name wrong.
Joey Cantillo.
Yep.
Cantillo, yeah.
All right. Shout out to old Joey here. And yes,
man, you look at
Malik Beasley.
You look at Ortiz's game log too. It's funny. You can tell if he was betting on himself, you can tell when it happened. There's some really good starts and some bad ones.
You know what? I am going to do that now. I am going to look at Luis Ortiz's game logs here. That's hilarious. It goes 6 innings, 2 hits, 10 Ks, no walks against the Athletics. But the game before, maybe he bet against himself, but he went 6 innings, 6 earned runs against Seattle. Ugh. Who knows? God damn. And what an asshole this guy. What if he was betting on his strikeouts? 6.5 strikeouts? Fuck it. Let me just throw 4. 2 strikes on him? Let's just throw a fastball down the middle. Let it put it in play. What a fucking guy that guy is, Luis Ortiz. So Joey Cantillo on the bump here, and I have not seen him since last year. He has an arm and the bullpen they used here. He's been basically a bullpen guy all year as well. 3 innings is his max. He threw that 20 on the 26th of last month. Last start in the minors, he went 3 1/3, 4 hits, 4 earned runs against the Cubs team. 3 1/3, 1 earned run, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 innings, 3 innings. So probably about 3 innings for our guy Joey here, maybe 4. But Spoons, you mentioned it in the chat. This line kind of went down with the pitching change, but it's because the Cubs against lefties have been very bad. In this last month, they are 20th, 81 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Not what you want, as the kids would say, Spoons. And the market in this game, there's 60% of the bets, 56% of the money on Cade Horton here. 50-50 ticket split when it comes to the total. 69% of the money on the over. Spoons, enlighten us. What are you on here on your Chicago Cubs, if anything?
I'm not on this game. I have a lean to the Guardians, to be honest with you. Cade Horton's a guy I haven't developed trust for yet at this point in his career. I do think he has the ability to put things together, and maybe a year or two from now, with some more maturity, he can use the current pitch mix he has to be more successful. But at this point in the season, I just don't see it from him. He's a guy that really struggles with righties, so maybe he can excel versus this lefty-heavy Cleveland lineup, but it's not something I'm willing to put my money on right now. If I can get a live line in this game and I see Cade Horton just out there executing his pitches, looking good, I might do that. But the Cubs bats versus left-handed pitching is something that I have a lot of reservations about. They're filled with righties. It's only really Pete Crow Armstrong and Kyle Tucker that you're going to see on a regular basis from the left-hand side. Michael Busch as well, a pretty good young bat. This is a spot where I think Cleveland Guardians have some pretty good value attached to them. We look at the Chicago Cubs team, and they've already won this series. So if you're looking forward, you've won the series. What do you want to do next? You want to win the next series. And who's the next series against? It's against the Cardinals. This is a really big spot for them. They're in a division where these wins are really going to matter in division coming down the stretch on the second half of the All-Star break. And Cubs don't have a young manager on the mound. They have a really seasoned guy who knows how to get these wins. And I question how he will deploy his bullpen pieces here today. I look at how the Cubs have won these last couple of games, and they've had to use their Daniel Palencia, my favorite arm at this point in the season, twice in back-to-back days. Brad Keller's gone in back-to-back days. That does leave Porter Hodge available. I expect him to pitch if there's any chance of them winning this game. I believe Ryan Presley would be available too, but I also think that's an arm that they'd rather give a day off before that Cardinals series because he's really got some good stuff. So that means you're going to see Drew Pomeranz. This is a guy I think can probably pitch well here, but he hasn't shown the best things over the season. This Cubs bullpen has exceeded my expectations for them, and I don't know if they can do that without the A arms. I think they're going to use the B arms, and after Cade Horton, just the lack of trust I have with him, I don't want to put all that together. I might look, like I mentioned earlier, for a live way to back the Cubs, maybe even get in on a -1 after a few innings have gone, just because the way the derivatives work with the algorithm, as soon as the innings start to dissipate, the -1 value gains a ton. So that might be a way I attack it if I see Cade Horton pitching well, but just the Cubs versus left-handed bats, I don't want to be on this before it goes into it.
And interesting breakdown there, Spoons. TJ, a game that I don't know what to make of or make much of. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's better spots. I don't have a lot on this game. I mean, numbers. I don't trust Horton either. You know, he's got a whip in his 3 of his last 4 starts over 2. He's putting a lot of runners on base, a lot of base hits. You know, Houston, who doesn't hit righties, had 8 hits in 4 innings and 4 walks. Seattle, 7 hits in 4 2/3. Detroit hits everyone, but you know, he looked well against Pittsburgh. I don't like the Cleveland bats, so it's hard to get there with them. I don't know a ton about this pitcher other than that he's just going to go a few innings. Cleveland has Detroit on deck too, so it's not like they're not looking ahead either. Granted, they're out pretty much. I don't think they're have high hopes of making the playoffs, so I don't know how much stock they put into the next series as opposed to the Cubs. Yeah, I'm off this game.
Nothing for any of us here on the panel. No action for me too. And Swaggy McNolegs. Yeah, it's a weird game. I wonder what the vibes are like in the clubhouse. And like, oh, where's Luis? Oh, he just got popped for gambling. Fuck.
Who do you think Luis got his money on today?
It's a great question. Not himself. I know that. Not
He's
himself. I
probably
bet you he
tilting
was a
right now
geek.
because he had a plan.
Yeah, he's like, fuck. My line was 4.5 Ks. I could have got over that easily. Damn it.
Well, is
Yeah,
he? I wonder if he's betting at books that take action or listed pitchers because his action has to stick.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. You got integrity in the books. Come on, Luis. And by the way, Luis Ortiz is invited on to Say Hey Plays and Pub Sports Radio anytime he wants to break down baseball. Anytime he wants to break down baseball, I'd love to hear his opinions. I'd be fascinated to hear who he thinks sucks as a hitter and who should we bet unders on, I guess. Well, let's keep rolling here, guys. We have 3 more baseball games to talk about. Then we jump right into the WNBA with our guy Billy Brisbane here. We've got Giants, Diamondbacks here. And I'm not going to lie, this pitching matchup is a little funny to me. I like Brandon Pfaadt, but he sucks. He has sucked for a while now. And I remember TJ on Saturday saying vividly, he is remembered for one playoff run, and he sucked ever since then. And I was sitting back, and I was like, fuck, TJ's right. Oh, no. So I like Brandon Pfaadt, but he has not done anything since that playoff run. On the other side, we have kind of the opposite spectrum for me. Robbie Ray, who I have thought he sucked, and he's put up an 8-3 record and he's pitched pretty well throughout the whole season. So it's definitely a mental battle for me because I need to get off of betting a guy I like, and maybe I need to bet a guy that I've not been high on all year. So with the capper, it's definitely a battle here. But 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run for Mr. Robbie Ray last time out, albeit against the White Sox. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned against the Red Sox. 6 innings, 3 runs against Cleveland. He's definitely not, what he was a few weeks ago, but still pitching solid is Robbie Ray. And then we'll just talk about Pfaadt real quick. Again, he's been just bad, but 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned against Miami. I'm going to say not good enough. 5 innings, 4 earned runs against Colorado, at Colorado. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, back-to-back against Seattle, Toronto. And he gave up 6 earned runs and 8 earned runs before then. So I don't trust Pfaadt. I don't really like Robbie Ray. So this was a game I kind of have to stay off on. Markets in this game, 62% of the bets, but 90% of the money on the San Francisco Giants here. 75% of the bets on the under, 60% of the money on the under as well here. TJ, take it away. A very interesting game here, Giants Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it is. I like Robbie Ray. He does it against righties, against lefties on the road, at home, day and night. So consistent. I know there's been a couple starts in there that maybe you would consider a blow up, but I mean he's not out there. He's not going to get rocked. He did pitch against Arizona back in May, 3 runs over 6 innings. Not his best start, but still going 6 there. And he's just a guy that's going to get you 6 innings almost every start and get your bullpen a little bit of rest. And I like backing him. That said, I'm not going to be on a side with 90% of public action. I'm not going to go against it. But I think that Pfaadt, for as trash as he is, or as mediocre, I'll say, as he is, I think he matches up kind of well against this Giants offense who doesn't hit the fastball very well. They're almost dead last in baseball on the road. In the last 30 days, they're bottom half against righties. Overall, they're bottom 5 offense on the season after that hot start, which is quite the cool off. Pfaadt, his last 2 home starts have been solid, decent. Seattle 2 runs in 5 innings. He did give up 9 hits. But, Miami was hot, and he held him to 2 runs over 5. I don't think you can expect him to go deep, and I don't want any part of the Arizona bullpen, although they're in a little better shape than the Giants after last night's extra inning game. I really like this to stay low scoring early. So I am officially going to be on the first 5 under 4.5 at -110.
Oh, first 5 under here for TJ. Very interesting.
Yep,
I can't wait. Go ahead, TJ.
No, that's it. I just like to fade the general perception. That's how I do a lot of my baseball plays. And while I don't think many people expect Ray to get touched for much, I do think that the general consensus out there in thought now is that he's just a gas can. And I think recently he's been pitching a little bit better. I'm not going to say he's as good as what they say, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'm staying off this game. As Lynn Belvedere knows, I just cannot bet Giants games. I don't know what it is about this fucking team. I just can't wrap my head around this team. So I'm off. Spoons, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment that Brandon Pfaadt can pitch well here. I hear a lot of people around the space that just really have lost respect for this guy. They think he's pretty washed up, not having a great season, but he's got 2 bad starts on the year. Atlanta and Washington, they were in back-to-back starts. Pitchers start to tip things, they show things, and you got to make adjustments from there. And in my opinion, he's made pretty good adjustments. Yeah, he gave up 4 earned run at Coors, but who doesn't give up 4 earned runs at Coors? So I think this is a guy that can probably pitch pretty well here to a Giants lineup, as TJ alluded to. They're bottom 6 in baseball in just about every stat statistically on the season. We look at them versus right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. They're 21st. And on the road, they're 29th in baseball over the last 2 weeks. So this isn't a Giants lineup I necessarily think will touch Brandon Pfaadt that hard. On the other side of the mountain, I strongly agree with what TJ said about Robbie Ray. This is a guy that comes out and puts his team in a position to win every single time he pitches. I don't know what start you'd point to if you're trying to say he had a blow up. 3 earned runs is not a blow up in my opinion. This guy is coming out there just being consistent, doing everything you ask, and I don't really want to get in front of him. These Diamondback bats just have not looked the same since they've lost Corbin Carroll, a team that was hitting in the top 5 of baseball. They're dropping down to more pedestrian numbers, around the 15th rank in a lot of spots. They've shown the ability to hit lefties this season and without Carroll in the lineup, but I don't think those lefties were on the same level that I have Robbie Ray on. The recent numbers really skewed by getting 9 earned runs off of Austin Gomber, and if we take that out, it looks really bad without Carroll. So I like TJ's under there a lot. It's not something I got to the window with myself, but that was actually the lean I had on in this game. Not going to the ticket window, so you can carry on.
Fair enough. Let's carry on indeed. TJ, what was the number you got on that official under?
Minus 110, 4.5.
All right. I was going to write
we used
Tigers
to play
again.
poker.
First 5 under 4.5, minus 110 for TJ there. Beautiful. And I commend you for betting those first 5s because I can't. I gave up. I called Uncle. I said I give up. So no more first 5s for me. I agree, but I'll respect it. Dodgers, White Sox here. We've got one more game after this one to talk about. Then we get into the WNBA. I mean, it's a minus 300. I'll say what I say every time now. I have not bet a minus 300 in a little bit now, but I don't think any team should be minus 300 against anyone. I probably end up taking the plus 1.5, but I'm not going to move on this game. Shout out to those who fade Dustin May. Shout out to Preston, my guy. He's a very interesting pitcher, Dustin May. I've liked him a lot. He keeps getting hurt. I'm shocked he's a starter, and I'm shocked he's still hurt, injured, or not injured, I should say. So I'm glad he is. I hope he pitches well, but I won't be on this game here. Spoons, anything on this one?
I think Aaron Savali is not going to be long for Major League Baseball. I don't know if he'll be pitching in the United States next year, to be honest with you. And I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities to fade him. I think we'll get more affordable prices to do that, though, in the future. Dustin May is a guy that's not had a great season by any metrics you look at it. His xFIP versus righties is borderline 5, and this is Dustin May, a very highly touted guy. He's had some pretty nasty stuff. He's had to deal with some tough injuries, and coming back from that's hard. I don't know if he would have pitched as many innings at this point in the season if the Dodgers pitching staff wasn't so banged up. I think they might be trying to get his confidence built up at AAA a little bit more before he was forced into this spot. And I think that's what helps him here today. He gets to face that AAA lineup in the Chicago White Sox, and a guy that I think is going to be in the KBO next year. You'll never see me putting a minus 300 on my card. I don't lay minus 1.5 in baseball, so I'm kind of priced out of this game. I can't do much with it. Fade Aaron Savali, Dodgers team total, however you want to do it. I said what I said. I don't believe he'll be pitching in the major leagues next year.
I like that call. Korea for Aaron Savali here. PJ, anything on this game?
I typically don't bet a lot of Dodger games just because I'm priced out, and I don't like taking plus 250 dogs very often unless I'm going to do like a +1 TJ special first or +0.5 TJ special first 5, and I can't do that back in Savali here. I think both pitchers are very vulnerable. I like the over. What's ballpark Pal say on this one, Spoons?
I got you. So we're at Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium is plus 13% home runs today, minus 2% runs overall. The actual weather in this game will be between 60s and 70s during game time, so it's going to be a little cooler. No chance for rain, and the sun's going to be out.
Oh, a great day, it sounds like.
It does, and I like the over there, but looks like books are moving it down a little bit. I don't have a public percentage. I do 88% on the over. So that's enough to tell me to stay off.
Yeah, I'm off this game as well. But goddamn, all you Dodgers people that are going to this game, I just have to keep telling myself they're going to be in an hour and a half of traffic after the game. Don't be jealous of them. They're going to be in traffic for 2 hours after this game trying to get out, so don't be jealous. And I have to remind myself of that when thinking about the Dodgers here. So no action for me here. And that leads us to our final game on the board here. Gentlemen, I thank you both for coming on here and talking baseball with me. It's a pleasure when you guys are on screen here with us and with myself. I appreciate it. We've got Seattle Mariners versus the Kansas City Royals. Seth Lugo versus Brian Woo up in this bitch. Now,
it is not Brian Wu.
Oh, it's not Brian Wu anymore?
I sent you a text on this, Jose, last night. Do you not even check?
Motherfucker, dude.
And I need to know how Spooner knew this because I woke up to this text, but I was working to try to get done before the show. And so I didn't even look at the card.
Who the fuck's pitching then, Spoons?
On the mound. Got to double check the name.
Evans.
Spoons got the fucking text message from the pitching coach apparently last night. I didn't know about this.
Part of gambling is just staying connected to everything as much as you can and surrounding yourself with really sharp people. Got to nod my hat to Kyle Kerms on this one. He pointed it out to me. There was a tweet that came out from the Seattle Times. This is a beat reporter for Seattle sports. And he noted last night around when I sent you that text that Brian Wu is going to be pushed back a day and all of the starting pitchers will. So I looked at Brian Wu versus Logan Evans and I saw the OPS versus right-handed pitching jumped over 300 points from this. Brian Wu's a guy that's elite at getting righties out, and that's what kept me off the Royals when I was initially capping this game. He's got a .85 whip and a .226 weighted on base given up to these right-handed bats. And if you look at Kansas City, that's what you have to worry about. It's Vinny Pasquantino, and then after that, there's not much power at all from the left-handed side. The young rookie, Jack Caglione, John Rave, and Kyle Isbell could be in the lineup, but I don't know that they will be. So when you get a person that struggles more with righties, it made it so much more advantageous, and the line hadn't jumped yet. All the books still had Wu listed. When you see something like that from a beat reporter that's that connected to a team, they don't put that out for no reason. This is their reputation on the line. This is how they get paid. This is how they support their family. When they put something like that out, you got to act on it. The books only have so many things. They're trying to cover markets from everything from tennis to UFC to baseball. The Seattle Times is not necessarily the top thing on their list. So when you get a chance like that, I posted it on X when I saw it as well, in case anybody saw it. But I moved on the Seattle or on the Royals last night at +135. I tried to bet +140. It locked it on the book that I was trying to bet it. I went back, reloaded it multiple times, and just gave up before I lost the 135. And I sent texts to quite a few people. I think it's a really good CLV spot. Part of me almost wanted to just go the other way, take the cash that I'll get from the CLV and just take the guaranteed spot. But I really trust Lugo's ability to pitch well here versus the Mariners. I wanted to back him even with Wu on the mound, but I couldn't get there. But now that I got a guy that gives up power to righties and set Lugo on the mound, I think this is a spot where he can really pitch well. This is a pitcher's park. I don't see any reason not to be on the Royals. Obviously, I like it a lot more at plus 135 than plus 100, but yeah, Seattle Mariners.
Seattle Mariners for Spoons. TJ, thoughts after you heard Seattle Mariners insider Morgan Spooner there?
Yeah, I kind of threw up in my mouth when I looked at the CLV that you got. With that knowledge, it was great capping. It's good. That's why it's so hard. Like late night, there's a few different sources you could use, but there's some good stuff out there that get it out early. And if you're up and paying attention, you can definitely beat the market. I'm interested in Kansas City first five. I like Seattle's bullpen more. I didn't look at their usage here. Let me pull that up real quick. Sorry.
No worries. I will also work on this as well with you here because, I mean, again, how are we not? I don't know. It's not really about how are we not on the Royals here, but like the Royals are semi-interesting. I agree. And their bullpen, the Mariners bullpen, pretty fresh.
Yeah, Munoz threw 20 yesterday. I don't know what they typically do with him when he goes over 20, but otherwise not too bad. Royals have not been, the Mariners have not been getting to bullpens lately, which tells me that they're doing a lot of good prep for the starter, but not so much on the bullpen there. So I kind of just like to back the first five for KC. Seattle does hit the curveball really well, which is concerning for Lugo, but he mixes it up, all his pitches up pretty nicely. And lefties are a bit of a problem, so he'll have to pitch around Cal Raleigh. But other than that, he's been excellent. His last 5 games, 2-0-1-1-0 earned runs, and against the Yankees and the Dodgers, he shut both of them out. So he's back to the Lugo from last year. I don't have anything official here, but I think a very good job to those of you guys that got the money. And I'll never talk bad about plus money. And KC on the road is their offense is a little bit less anemic, I'll say. At home, I fade them almost every day, but got nothing here.
Nothing for TJ Spoons. Fucking grinding that midnight oil. Got to look down at his phone. He got a text from the Seattle Mariners pitching coach and said, "We're pushing back Brian Wu." And he gets a great line there. So shout out to you, Spoon. Nice to see you top set here as well. And by the way, Jermaine mentioning, I saw this tweet. I didn't read it, but it says Ortiz, 2 pitchers are flagged for betting integrity issues here. So I wonder who the other pitcher is going to be. And if it's our guy Patrick Corbin or someone that we love, it's going to hurt my feelings. So I can't wait to see what
if it's
happens
Corbin, he's
here.
backing himself every start, and it's wonderful.
I got it. It's still inside me. I could do it. I could see it. All right, let's recap our action here, ladies and gents. A fun baseball card. A short one, but a fun one here that I enjoyed talking to you gents about here. I will let you guys go first. Spoons, I'll let you go first. I've got your action written down already. I need to figure out what I'm going to be officially on here as well. So I'll let you take it away, Spoon. What are we on today?
I have Yankees money line minus 124. I have Tigers -1 minus 130. I have Angels money line plus 120. I have Royals money line plus 135. And I'm currently pricing out the Astros first 5 minus a half. I want to tail my guy TJ on that bet. It's something that really correlates with the way I cap the game. And now that I look at it, it's a spot I really want to try to get on. I may look full game at building the -1, but I think the first 5 is where I want to isolate it. So I'm going to tweet that out here shortly after, before game time, definitely. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here today. I know Jimmy's not here, and we're trying our best to give you the same sort of product. Getting to surround yourself with these kind of guys is the way you get better at capping. You're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And sharps like Jose, TJ, Jimmy, my guy Kyle, who I referenced, who shouted out that Seattle pitcher to me. That's just how you get better. So I enjoy getting to do this every day. Thanks for showing up in the chat. Good luck today with your wagers and gamble responsibly.
Beautiful note there, Spoons. Thank you very much. TJ, your action here today.
Yeah, I got the Yankees money line minus 122. I think that's my favorite bet today if I was to pick one. I'm on the Angels Braves first 5 under 5. minus 110. Giants, Diamondbacks, first 5 under 4.5. I believe that was also minus 110. I'll have to go back and look. Houston, first 5 minus a half, minus 125. Milwaukee and the Mets, the first 5 under 4.5. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Always fun to be on the show, man. I wish I could do it more often. Glad we could fill in Jimmy's absence. And dude, the best thing about this show is how interactive it is with the chat. The guests always interact. There's some really cool, sharp guys in the chat. I'm glad sports scientist Jacob is coming around. Coin, AM, McKelvey, all the regulars that are here all the time. It's nothing without you guys. We appreciate it. Smash the like and cash that money. Have a good 4th of July. I'm in a weird small town in Virginia that celebrates tonight for some reason, so that's what I'll be doing with the kids instead of watching baseball, unfortunately. But
sure. Shout out to the 540 TJ, Roanoke, Virginia. Stand up. Come on.
There you go.
Shout out to Roanoke there. I thank you both. Spoons, I'll plug this before you get out of here. Walk-off wagers. Sunday mornings. It's a whole lot of fun with our guy Wine Time Sports. You can even find TJ there as well on certain Sundays. Very exciting here. Spoons, anything else you want to plug before we get you up out of here?
Yeah, tonight I'll be joining Kyle over there on the Kyle Kerms The Sauce Network and breaking down the whole card. It'll be the late night show. You can catch it in the morning before you watch Jose. Get yourself nice and sharp for the chat and give us your takes. As always, love being here on Pub Sports Radio. Please tune in Sunday. It's so great to work with Wine Time. I talk about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Wine Time is just a winner. It's great to surround yourself with people like that. He's killing baseball. I love it. His takes are the best. I think he's listening at work right now, probably too busy to be able to hop in the chat. But definitely check out the show tonight. Check out the show Sunday. Happy 4th of July to everybody. And shout out to Stacks, the one person last night who immediately texted me back and said, all right, I'm betting it.
Shout out to Stacks. Shout out to you, Spoons. Thank you very much, my man. What's up?
Can we get Wine Time, just a camera on him watching baseball with his bets posted to the side? Because that guy gets so excited, man. It's so fun to watch him. I'm like the total opposite.
Agreed. I was gonna say he has this childlike excitement. Yeah. Like he's so excited about his bets, and I dread it. I hate it. I'm just like, oh, get this game over with. Fuck. So shout out to you, Wine Time. TJ, anything you want to plug before we get you out of here, besides your small town in Virginia that's celebrating today, of course?
No, not really. I mean, hit me up on Twitter. A few guys have lately. I've helped them get into a couple books that they didn't really know much of the details about. I can help you out cutting some big with exchanges, things like that. This is what brings me joy. So happy to help. Hit me up, and I'll talk to you later.
Beautiful work there, TJ. My guy here, Gorky, nice to see you in the chat, my guy. Yankees minus 1.5, Rockies money line worth a shot. I like the Yankees here today, and I think the guys were a little surprised about how cheap the Rockies were today, but TJ on first 5 minus a half for the Astros there. So obviously you're on full game. I saw a lot of full game bets for the Rockies and a lot of first 5 bets for the Astros there. Gorky, thanks for jumping in here. My man, let's go to the dub here, the real basketball association, where the players hate each other and we fucking love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fun time to get basketball back in our lives, and only one guy to break down all this basketball, the one, the only, and maybe I'll see him in San Antonio for a little UFC Noche. Come on, Billy. I know you love it. It's Billy Brisbane joining the program. My guy, Billy, nice to see you, my man.
Doing very well, Jose. We got a nice little WNBA slate. If you do see me emoting or like, or yes, our America's finest, the Steph Curry of tennis is on screen. Ben Shelton.
What do you have on him? Money line?
I need him to close out a bunch of our lists, yes. For sports books.
Okay. Well, beautiful. I love that. Tennis is very fun to bet. Very fun to bet. So I respect that and I love that. Billy, let's talk about the dub here. I'm excited to hear your thoughts, feelings, opinions on these games. We have a loaded slate. They gave them girls an NBA Commissioner's Cup break or WNBA break, and now they're all back in our lives here. And let us talk about the Commissioner's Cup champions. Billy, I fucking know the WNBA commissioner. She was popping bottles with the Indiana Fever. She was like, "Oh my God, thank God they won. Caitlin won something. Oh my Lord, 10.5-point favorites." And the Lynx fall. And now we've got them playing the Aces. Only 4.5-point favorites in the Aces. My first question, Billy, are we expecting to see our girl CC playing today?
CC will not be in the lineup. I think the craziest part about the Commissioner Cup is that it's damn near double the amount of money for the Commissioner Cup. Like for the girls, they make double the amount of money for the Commissioner Cup than what they would make for the WNBA finals, which is pretty ridiculous. So
that is crazy.
You know that they got down and partied. If anybody saw Cindy Colson's Instagram videos or her Instagram live videos, she said, "Fuck that plane. That plane ain't going nowhere without us. Where is the plane going to go if we're not on the plane? We're about to party it up." And once that video reached the surface and all that, that's when that line was at 1.5 for the Las Vegas Aces. That line has gotten as high as 4, and then the 4.5s is what we're starting to see across the board. I wouldn't be shocked if you see 5.5, maybe even 6. I would say after coming through as big underdogs for Commissioner Cup Finals, I feel like the Fever back at home where they've kind of struggled this year. Historically, they've been or I should say during the Caitlin Clark era, they've been a really good home team. But this year, they've gone 4-9-1 ATS last 14 games on their home court. When these two teams played a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas ended up coming through late in the fourth quarter there, winning 89-81. So this is a revenge spot. But I thought it was a big game for A'ja Wilson. And if A'ja Wilson's having big games, I don't think too much is going to change here. Even with the pack success, I think this is going to be a letdown spot for Indy. We got two former South Carolina alumni going up against each other in A'ja Wilson and Aaliyah Boston. And I think A'ja Wilson gets the upper hand tonight. I played the Aces minus the 4 plus 110. That line is not available anymore. The best line that you could probably get is, let me check FanDuel. FanDuel, I believe, is at 4.5. 4.5 minus 112. I think this is playable up to minus 5.5. I would feel better paying for like a 3.5 maybe. If you can use the profit boost thing that they have for WNBA games for today on FanDuel, maybe that would be one way to look at it. Vault Sports, make sure you go, sign in through our affiliates there. You get a nice little 25% profit boost on any WNBA game today. But we're going to go Aces minus 4.5, minus 112. Just know I got minus 4 plus 110 in my pocket, but I think that's playable up to minus 5.5.
Billy, I'm not going to lie. I was looking for another leg of my parlay here today, and it was going to be the New York Mets. And I was like, do I want to put the Yankees in there, make it a New York parlay here? But Indiana Fever don't sound too bad right now. Or not, excuse me. The Las Vegas Aces don't sound too bad right now. Just take a money line, sit back and watch hungover women try to play basketball.
Yeah, I wonder how that plays into the total. You would think that would be an under, but we're actually starting to see a little bit of public money coming in on the over today. I honestly think it's an over spot. I do believe in the Rebenga a little bit, and the Rebenga here could probably be the over here of you just got done playing a Commissioner Cup final game where they probably played the best defense in Fever fucking history. I mean, the Lynx only put up 2 points across 8 minutes in the second quarter.
Good God.
Yeah, they had a 2-point fucking 8-minute stretch in that second quarter. So it's I don't think you could play any better defense than that. Just alone, that just makes you want to bet the over. That was the first thing I thought about when I first looked at this game was I should just take the over, but could be a letdown spot for the Fever. Could be a team total under for the Fever, but I think they can come out a little bit lackadaisical on defense. I think that's where you kind of see them that's where the letdown spot happens. It's on the defensive side of, the defensive intensity is going to be the same when there isn't exact and a lot of money on the line. It's like when you play basketball for money in the streets or some shit like that. You play a pickup game, you play regular with the boys, it's a little bit all right, but you throw a couple dollars in there or you throw a couple bets in there, it starts getting a little bit intense. I feel like it's going to be the same exact thing. I like the aces here. Aces, I'm with Lynn Belvedere. Aces -4, best bet of the day.
I'm gonna parlay the aces with the New York teams and make that official here. So the aces will be on my card. AM, I sort of agree with you with the 4 without Caitlin Clark being short. I agree with you, but I am hoping the books are going to see that everyone is going to bet. And by the way, I do have markets in this, I believe. Let me double check this now. But I think that the books are going to hope that everyone saw that fever win, everyone saw that win without Caitlin Clark, and they'll move that money. In this game, Las Vegas has 68% of the bets and 87% of the tickets. This opened up at, and I'm going to double check this opener real quick, AM, because I'm seeing an opener of 1.5. Yeah, I'm seeing this opener at 1.5 for Las Vegas at BOL, and it is at 4.5. Penny opened this at 4.5 and is still there. So a little worrisome, but I am on the Aces money line there. Let's roll on to Los Angeles Sparks, New York Liberty, 10.5 point spread for the Liberty. I don't feel like I've seen them below 10 double digits all year. I mean, they are the team to beat right now, it seems, Billy. Market in this game, 60-60 on tickets and money on the New York side here. 62% of the bet, 75% of the money on the under in this game. And funny enough, this line opened up at a 13, and we're now down to a 10 here. Some people will probably say, what the fuck's the difference between 13 and 10? That's 3 points. So that's a big one. Penny opened this up at 10.5. It is now down to 10 here. Billy, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, this line was at 12.5, 13. Some places came down to 11, 10.5. And deservedly so. I mean, the Liberty are going to be without Jacquel Jones, and what they've been giving up in the last couple of weeks without Jacquel Jones has been absolutely awful. I mean, I think I sent out a tweet. I don't have my phone exactly right next to me, but I sent out a tweet of like their team totals of what they're allowing in the last week and a half without Jacquel Jones is pretty bad. But on the other side, have gone 6-1 at home this year, but dead last in offensive rebounding rate. The Sparks have gone over 7 of their last 8 games, and they failed to hold a team under 92 points in their last 5 games. So I think while this is a get-right spot for the Liberty, I think the Sparks can play spoiler and get a backdoor cover. It's just that their defensive woes they can't get together, and that's why I like the total here. If you win the play first half total over 83.5, I would be fine with that, but official for me was over 169.5. That number's at 171 now at -110. I think we go up and over the total here. Sparks, 7 of their last 8 have gone over. Liberty, I mean, damn, dude, they've been going over Central since Jacquel Jones has been out, and they get Liani Fibic back. While that should help them defensively long-term wise, in the short term, until Cameron Brink comes back for the Sparks, I'm betting overs in Sparks games. And until Jacquel Jones comes back, I'm betting overs in Liberty games. So that just creates an over here. I think you take the over here or you take nothing.
Over or nothing here for Billy. I have nothing in this game, so I'm going to move on here. And by the way, Billy, I'll get you to repeat your official plays here at the end so I can write them down. Roll Jimmy the bag. So
yeah, player prop action for this one. Brianna Stewart's definitely overdue for a good game. But I would also say you can play devil's advocate with that, and you can kind of attack some of these Sparks big. I don't want to say big men, but front court players like De'Erica Hamby, Zora Stevens. Their rebound props are pretty low because they're the LA Sparks. But given the matchup, I mean, the Liberty are dead last in offensive rebounding rate. That gives you any idea where they're at rebounding wise. So some of these, for example, De'Erica Hamby to get 10 rebounds is plus, I believe it was plus 300 in this game. That's just not priced correctly. Any center in the WNBA that's starting and playing 30 minutes can walk themselves into 10 rebounds against the fucking Liberty right now without Jacquel Jones. Yeah, Hamby to get 10 rebounds plus 225. Zora Stevens to get 10 rebounds plus 210. Like, that'd be kind of the way I'd be looking for this one, or like the big plus money numbers on some of these rebounding props for some of these LA Sparks players. Kelsey Plum, maybe her assist prop. Her assist prop has been cashing left and right. You could still get that at plus 102 at 5.5. So basically 6 assists for plus 102 is pretty good odds. There's some good prop angles for this one, but I really just feel I really like the over in this game. That's why I didn't play any props. But maybe you're not a prop person. I mean, maybe you're not a total person. I don't bet totals. I don't give a fuck if it's the easiest over. I don't care if Scott Foster's is over there. I'm not betting a total, and you want to play some player props. I would attack some of the big plus money numbers in this game. Like, this is the highest total of the board. So theoretically, this is saying that the Liberty are going to have the highest team total of the whole entire card today.
Okay. I like that look. That makes a whole lot of sense. Even mathematically, that makes a whole lot of sense there. So good looks there. Billy, an over. And if you like this game, you don't want to bet the total, take some props. Good looks there. Seattle, Atlanta, closest spread of the day here. And Billy, our mutual friend Jimmy the Bag has loved this Atlanta Dream team. I don't really get it. I think you correct me if they signed Brittany Griner, correct? This is the team she went to. Is she the driving force?
No, honestly, Brianna Jones has really been the unsung hero here, and I would say the guard depth here from the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream, even though they don't have Ryan Howard, they do have one of the deepest. I think they have one of the deepest guard rotations in the league. Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard have been probably the best backcourt combination in the WNBA. And right behind them has been Skylar Diggins and Gabby Williams. But you also got Tiana Powell coming off the bench. She was the starting point guard for the championship winning South Carolina Gamecocks this year. And she's been ripping it from the three-point line. I believe she's top 3 in the WNBA for three-point percentage. She should get some minutes. Jordan Canada has been a staple in WNBA for some years now. I think that the line is where it's at because of the Ryan Howard news, but I think the value here is within the Atlanta Dream. I mean, they're one of the better home teams in the WNBA this year. Yeah, they cooled off last week, but the Storm have historically been a team that you back at the crib, you fade on the road. They've gone 4-4 this year on the road. Skylar Diggins has been on a tear. She's been she won Western Conference Player of the Week. She's been averaging like 20+ points in the last month.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of Skylar Diggins looking wild. Like,
they didn't even throw
motherfucking people.
They did not put her in the All-Star game. So that's the only reason why I'm kind of saying off of this game, is because this could just be the Skylar Diggins, oh, y'all must have forgot I'm still that bitch. Fuck these younger girls that are getting more clout than me. I'm still her, because production-wise, she's right there with the best of them, but they're not giving her the same notoriety. I like the Atlanta Dream, but just that greasy narrative theory of the Skylar Diggins fucking All-Star snub game. Like, we see it in the NBA all the time. Like, the All-Star snub game is fucking real. When you look at the report thing and you see that your peers in the media and the fans all don't want you in the All-Star game, you're kind of like, fuck you. But yeah, I lean towards the Atlanta Dream and the under here. I think if you take Ryan Howard out, this could just be a slower pace Atlanta Dream offensive team. Their new coach that they got is a collegiate coach, and he's the note for him in college was he ran like the most three-point attempt college basketball teams in D1 when he was in college, and that's the reason why the Atlanta Dream had brought him over here, is to up their three-point attempts, and it's been working for him.
That's a bad sign. Bad sign for the people that don't like the 3-point revolution in the NBA. You know, Skylar Diggins, and I think her name is Skylar Diggins Smith or whatever the fuck it is now. She's like a first ballot WNBA Hall of Famer, right? Like, she's walking into the Hall of Fame.
It's honestly shocking that she's really not, like, if you would have told me Skylar Diggins isn't in the WNBA All-Star game, like, who the fuck they put in there over here?
That's what I'm shocked about too. And I mean, fuck, they put Caitlin Clark as the 9th best guard, right? So I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
So I mean, if you wanted to go just greasy narrative theory and just play Skylar Diggins over 17.5 points, if you played it for the last week and a half, you got paid out what would make it 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first thing after hearing that. I was like, what the fuck is her points at right now? 20, 25? But 17.5 is light. And I agree with your dream look, though, Billy, because market is slowly moving in that direction. This opened up -1.5. It's gone to 1. It's going to pick now. It's very interesting to see these lines move the way they are. So I'm excited to see where this game goes here as well. Last game on the board, Billy. Minnesota Lynx, Washington Mystics. Now, we have the other side here of the Commissioner's Cup. You lose as a 10.5-point favorite for all of that money without Caitlin Clark. How fucking pissed is this Minnesota Lynx team? This feels like the spot where they are going to open a fucking can of whoop ass on a Mystics team that might not deserve it. But I don't understand how you lose to that fucking Fever team, Billy. So please take it away. How does this Lynx team not go out there with hate in their heart and dominate this Mystics team?
Yeah, this is going to be the second play of the day here. Second play of the day is going to be the Minnesota Lynx first quarter -3.5. We're not going to do first quarter full game. We're not going to do first half full game. We're not going to go first half. This is just come in this fucking gymnasium and you lock these girls down tonight. And the books are already over. If you look at the Minnesota, not the Minnesota Lynx, if you look at the Washington Mystics team total for the first quarter, they only have 17.5 juice towards the under, -125 towards the under 17.5 first quarter for the Mystics. I think the Lynx get off to a good start in this one. I mean, they only scored 7 points in the second quarter of the last game. That kind of gave them a reality check that they needed because they were kind of cruising through these games. The Mystics had their 3-game win streak snap over the weekend, but I would say the word of consistency has really been their problem, really closing out games, staying consistent. Like, for example, they lost that last game against the Dallas Wings without Paige Beckers, and they were like 3.5-point favorites and closed at like 8.5-point favorites and lost outright by like damn near double digits. Like, it was not a good showing for the Mystics, but I would say like broad view perspective, this has been a great season for them. It's just hard to catch them in specific spots because, you know, with young rookie girls, you don't know when they're going to step up. They might want to step up on the road. This would be a spot that you would think, you know, rookie team. You got Kiki Efren. She's saying Paige Becker's rookie of the year. Look at my stats, and she's going up against Napisha Collier. And Napisha Collier has been getting barked at by these young girls. Look at Aaliyah Boston the other night. And the one thing about Napisha Collier, yeah, she might be the reigning defensive player of the year, but she isn't like some like physical bruiser or anything like that. Like the bitch is 6'1", like Brittany Grider's like 6'7". Like, did that give you a height comparison of like where some centers are in the WNBA and like where she's at? Like, she's really not that tall. But as I digress, I think the Lynx get off to a very hot start. I took it -3.5, -113. I like the Lynx in this spot.
Would you say that the average height of a center in the WNBA is like 6'3"?
I would say 6'5", 6'6", depending on who you are.
So she really is tiny, huh?
Like Napisha Collier is tiny.
Wow. And she's their like straight center. There's no other big in there, right?
They got Alana Smith. Alana Smith is like the girl with the height, but without the accolades, if that makes sense. Of like, she's the girl that's 6'6", 6'7", but she's standing around the 3-point line, and if you hit her in the face, it looks like she just got shot by a shotgun. Napisha Collier, you know, you could throw a couple elbows in her face and she'll just run right through it.
Yeah. All right, well, beautiful. Let's review action here, Billy. That was a great breakdown of all these games.
Mercury Wings, by the way. That's the last.
I forgot that one. I'm sorry. I guess I didn't make a graphic for it either. Fuck. Go ahead, Billy. Take it away.
Yeah, Mercury Wings here. The Mercury were red hot, hottest team in the WNBA before they lost that last game to the Aces. I would say this core roster has really snapped that road problem that recent teams have had. They had a stretch where they were scoring 89 or more in 3 straight, and Dallas has a lot of moving parts on their injury report. No Enrique Ngumbawale. They just traded away Nalissa Smith. Hines Allen is questionable. I think she'll probably give it a go tonight. Their Eurobasket players are all returning. They've been a head case defensively, and I don't think too much is going to change in this one. I like Phoenix team total over 88.5. I think that would be the only play in this one, and I think Phoenix could blow them out to the point where it goes over 166 here. Out of the 3 big favorites on the card today, I think Phoenix is the one that I would feel the most comfortable about. And one player prop to look at would be Sammy Whitcomb, 10 plus points, minus 122. She's going over her point prop in 5 straight games, and she gets probably one of the best 3-point matchups in the WNBA tonight against the Dallas Wings. And you're only getting her point prop 10 plus points at minus 122. She's put up like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and they haven't really nudged her line.
All right. Wow. Okay. So beautiful. Thank you for picking up my shit there, Billy. What official plays are we rocking with today?
Yeah, 2 officials for me is going to be aces on the spread here. 4.5 minus 112 is what we're giving out for the show. And Minnesota Lynx minus 3.5 minus 113. We got to spin the block. Spin the block for this one. Get off to a hot start, and then they could lose the game for all the fuck I care. Just be up by more than 4 points at the end of the first quarter.
And that's minus 110 there?
Minus 113.
Minus 113. Beautiful stuff, Billy. I am on the aces in a money line parlay today, so I'm riding with you, Billy. We're in the car together. Let's go get paid together. It's a fun time capping with you, Billy. I thank you. Please plug the Locker Room Talk podcast, one of the most successful shows on the damn channel.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in. Locker Room Talk podcast. We'll be back next week in action. And my American holiday tip of the day will be you're not American. So if you're Canadian in the chat, I'm sorry. You probably think we're probably fucking idiots for doing this. But Nathan, hot dog eating contest is tomorrow. Make sure you get your hot dogs, put it in good air. And I think you got to go Miki Suno on the over here. You got to better over on the hot dog. She wrecked the record last year for women's hot dogs. She had 55 hot dogs. They're putting her line at 51.5. Everyone was betting the over, but I would imagine for as many people are betting the over, they're probably like parlaying that bullshit with like Joey Chestnut to like break the record. Like there's no meat on the bone on the Joey Chestnut line of like his record 75 and the over under 71.5, and it's going to be like 100 and something degrees out there. So it's like, how much are you not really getting a lot of meat left on the bone? But the women's hot dog eating contest though, hey, you go leave some low hanging fruit. I guess we're going to take it, right? That would be
who was that again for the people that might not have heard that?
Miki Sudo on the over on the hot dogs, 51.5, which sounds
that's good,
fucking ridiculous. So get your bankroll right, tail some WNBA plays, use some of that ROI to degenerately gamble on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I would imagine if you're putting the line at 51.5 for a girl to eat hot dogs and she had 55 last year, you got a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay. All right. Well, beautiful. I will tail that. I hopefully will have those odds tomorrow. I will tail that with you, Billy. So that should be a whole lot of fun. I thank you, my man, and I'll see you back here very soon. Beautiful stuff. Billy Briz joining the program. Now, I am going to share. I obviously am not capped the CFL, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to share with you guys Jimmy the Bag and Bobano's official action here for the CFL, and we'll close up shop here, review all action, and get up out of here. Prepare for tomorrow's July 4th show. Reminder, July 4th show, 11 a.m. Eastern start time. 11 a.m. Eastern start time. So a reminder of that, ladies and gents. But official plays for you guys here, Bobano's. He is on Calgary, team total over 22.5, minus 118. He's on Winnipeg, Calgary, over 51, minus 120. He's on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, minus 125, and their team total over 26.5, minus 114. And he's on Edmonton, Ottawa, over 51, minus 126. For my guy, Jimmy, he is, by the way, 18 and 13, up 3.87 units on the year in the CFL. So shout out to you, Jimmy. He is on Winnipeg, Calgary, under, first half under 25.5, and he is on the full game under 51. He's on the full game under 51. So doubled up on unders there in Winnipeg, Calgary. And Bobano, is on the over 51 in that game. So they're going head to head in that battle. So choose your fighter in that one. By the way, Pub Sports Radio saying Toronto Argonauts money line. Maybe Chad Kelly's coming back soon. Who knows? But shout out to, I assume Billy is typing that in there as well. But that is the CFL action here today. Nice to make that CFL segment, that length of CFL segment for you, my man. Voodoo Ranger, thank you. Sausage Links. Sausage Lynn Belvedere. My guy Justin Ramos, all you guys, Aaron AM, Justin, Big Daddy Boom, Gorky, Sports Scientist Jacob, thank you all. Shout out to you, Gorky. Let's recap the action here for all of our cappers, and I'll tell you guys what I am on here in just a moment. Start with TJ here. He is on first 5 minus a half, minus 125. LA Angels, Atlanta Braves, first 5 under 5, minus 110. He is on Giants, Arizona Diamondbacks, first 5 under 4.5, minus 110 there. He is also on, as I'm pulling this back up, New York Mets money line, minus 122. And he is on the first 5 under Milwaukee, New York Mets, under 4.5, minus 110. Nice, Nathan Taserna. Nice to see you, my man. Spoon's bets. He is on the Angels money line, plus 120. He's on Detroit minus 1, minus 130. He is on the New York Yankees, minus 124. And he's on the Kansas City Royals at plus 134 here. Billy, I just talked about his action. I'll just tell you guys it again. He is on the Aces full game, minus 4.5. He is on the Minnesota Lynx first quarter, minus 3.5 there. So minus 112, minus 113 for each of those. Me, officially, I will give you guys all the action I have bet here during the show. Let me log into my sports book here real quick, and I can tell you guys what I am on. I am on the Washington Nationals, plus 127. I am on the New York Yankees, minus 128. I am on the Angels Braves under 9, minus 105. I am on both. I will make both of these official. So I have 3 units on the New York Yankees today. Oh, God. I am on the Yankees Mets moneyline parlay. That's a little under minus 200 or plus 200, excuse me. And I'm on that same parlay plus the Las Vegas Aces there. So all three of those parlay together, both those parlays will be official for me. Shout out to you, Bo Jackson, Bumaclot. I'm sure you guys will be hearing that a lot here coming soon here at our Summit of Champions with Jimmy and company there on August 23rd. So shout out to all of you guys, all the Canadians that are going. I appreciate all you guys joining me here today. Apologies for the late start today. A lot of shows going on, so couldn't get in here early. But we will be back here tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We will be starting the show. It will be MLB. It'll be, I think the WNBA is going tomorrow, and we'll even talk a little hot dog eating contest, but a full MLB slate coming you tomorrow. So stay locked in to Pub Sports Radio on the 4th here. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Let's go make some money. Shout out to my guy Diego Jota. RIP. Hope all you Liverpool fans are doing well out there. But shout out to you guys. Let's leche in los bookmakers.